The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Gospel music here in America has always run deep into Black culture and Black history. The hymns sung by many of our ancestors kept them strong and gave them hope. Coming up on this edition of Perspectives, my guest is the top Kenyan gospel artist who's using her platform to bring hope, combat poverty, and restore human dignity. She has a huge passion for helping refugees as well as displaced people. Stay tuned to meet her. She's very talented and gifted. Perspective starts right now with yours truly, Daren Jaime.
What's on your mind?
Let 'em know.
Express what's on your mind. What's on your mind?
Let 'em know. Anything relevant to life, you bring it to the table. Whether you make a move solo or a movement with a stable. No fables, you speak on your decisions. Cause in the long run, it's your voice, your views, your vision. Keeping it real with many messages for you to know. This ain't radio, but DJ runs the show. Entertainment, he rocks it. Politics, he locks it. The host with the most would handle any topic. Don't forget to share your perspective with shines of light. Cause it might make a difference in someone else's life.
Make a difference.
What's your perspective?
Express what's in your heart and your mind. Share your perspective.
What's your perspective?
And hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Perspectives. I am Daren Jaime. Of course, we thank you for joining us. And you can catch Perspectives every week here on BronxNet's Channel 67. If you're watching on Verizon Fios, of course, that would be Channel 33. And, of course, if you're checking us out on the web anytime at bronxnet.org. Want to tell you that we're here every week, as we say, bringing you news, information, and things that you need to know. We invite you to stay connected to us. You can check us out on social media. My personal page is Daren C. Jaime. Professional, I should say, is Daren C. Jaime. You can get information about the shows, upcoming shows, share your perspective. You never know, it just might make a difference in somebody else's life. Well, got a very special show for you today. My guest in studio, an award-winning gospel artist and minister from Kenya. She's won numerous awards, including the prestigious Groove Awards. In addition to her musical career, she also seeks to support initiatives empowering children, women, and youth to combat poverty and restore human dignity. She also supports the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees and has a passion for helping displaced people in Africa. Ms. Mercy Masika is our guest, and we welcome her now to the show. And welcome.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Well, excited to have you as well, all
Yes.
the way from Kenya,
Yes.
here in the United States and here in the Bronx. And you're the top Kenyan gospel artist, first of all. And so, first of all, it's an honor just to have you here. But talk to us about your work as a gospel artist. A lot of work, a lot of passion.
I believe the one thing that God gives you when you become famous or something is you get influence. And so as a gospel artist who's doing well by God's grace, is that I have influence and I'm able to reach people that, other people may not. And so one of the things I've said is that I'm going to help, I'm going to use what God has given me to be a blessing to somebody else. And so a lot of what we do is community service. We sing, because people like us, we sing, and we voice out their issues. When we talk about refugees in Kenya, we have up to 500,000 refugees from different areas of Africa that are in Kenya, from Sudan, from Eritrea, especially from Sudan. And so what we do is tell people that these are people just like us, and we can support them, because it could be you. One day you could be free and happy, and the next you are a refugee.
Right. We talk about refugees here in the United States, of course, a topic of a lot of controversy, but when we talk about refugees in Kenya, give us an idea as to what it's like and what the situation is out there right now.
We have very many from Southern Sudan. Of course, there are other countries like Congo. There's a lot of refugees, and what do we say? It's because of war-torn areas, and places like those, like Congo, we'll meet so many women who have had to walk long distances. They walk for months, and so when they come to the refugee camp, they're happy not just because they have a place to sleep, which is not so good like, homes are, but they're happy because they have peace. They don't have gunshots, all around, and that's basically it. I connect more with the women because 75% of the refugees in Kenya are women. And so women my age, women with young children like me. And so, yeah, that's the situation.
So, with the crisis going on over there, you're here in the United States, of course, and you're working with, of course, the United Nations, the High Commissioner for Refugees. Talk to us about the message that you're trying to send and what you're doing over here these days.
Gospel music is about hope. And that's what music does. It gives hope to people. It tells them, you can make it. Be happy, be grateful. Gospel music is powerful, I believe, because, when you play it at home, it keeps ringing in your head and speaking hope to you. And so that's what we do. We speak hope, and that's what I'm all about, speaking hope about Jesus Christ. Yes.
And so, here in the United States, talk about what you've been doing.
I came for the National Prayer Breakfast. I was invited by one of the senators to come and sing in one of the closing dinners.
Who actually heard you somewhere else?
Yes, he heard me sing in the National Prayer Breakfast in Kenya, and he said, this girl has to come, which was an honor for me. It was awesome meeting different senators and different leaders from around the world at the National Prayer Breakfast. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience. Being my first time, I was like, I want to come back over and over again, because it's beautiful to see people who honor God.
Right.
Yes.
And then you have these elected officials, these politicians who really have the opportunity to really speak to the passion of what you're dealing with too as well.
Yes.
How much were you able to get a conversation with them and talk to them about the situation in Kenya?
I believe there were different people, of course, that we talked to and gained partnership with. Of course, we meet them and then we continue talking and continue with talks, yes.
So a lot of conversation had. So for the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, you help and you spend some time.
Yes.
So talk about your work there too.
I visit. Something that I'm blessed that they love my music there. We call it Turkana. It's in Turkana, a place called Turkana, Kakuma camp, 500,000 refugees. And so they play a lot of my music there. And so I go to speak to the girls, give them hope and tell them they will make it, they can make it. And it's beautiful to see that there are also some people that make it, from the refugee camps. And so that's a lot of what I do. I encourage them and also raise money towards refugees and tell people that, you know what, keep your peace in Africa. You could be a refugee if you don't take care of the peace that you have.
How well do you think that people really know about the refugee crisis in Africa? I mean, I'm familiar, but I know there's a lot of other people sometimes who just don't really know. Or do you find that when you explain to them the difficulties, what women are going through, what the crisis really is, that for a lot of them it's like first-time information?
Yes, it is. That's the case. So you find a lot of people don't know, and they imagine that they live in paper houses. They sleep in a hut or something. Well, they're living in houses thanks to UNHCR and partners and people who support refugees. And so a lot of people don't know what they go through. I think one of the things that when you hear their stories, you can't help but cry, because many have been raped, they've been abused, they have walked, they've been in poverty, they've been hungry. It's the experience there with almost every woman. And so, yeah, a lot of people don't know about refugees, which is what I want people to know, that there are people just like, and there are millions of refugees, 20 million refugees around the world. Yes.
And coming up after the break, we're going to introduce you to a very special pastor. And what are we going to talk about?
We're going to be talking about Pokot. Pokot is a part of the northern region of Kenya, where we go to spread the word of Jesus Christ and, of course, do many great things.
All right, so we'll talk about Pokot when we come back. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more perspectives, as well as Mercy Masika, who's going to be with us in just a second. Be right back. And we're back here on Perspectives. Daren Jaime here with you, and want to let you know we have a very special show with you. Our guest in the studio, top Kenyan gospel artist, Masika. And she's been talking about some of the work that she's been doing to support refugees. And as we were talking a little bit before the break, she mentioned one place called Pokot. And guess what? We're joined now by Jimmy Gore, who's also from Christian Impact Mission, who will talk about the work that goes on in Pokot and the work that you guys have been doing. And first of all, welcome.
Thank you very much, Daren.
Good to have you.
Glad to be here.
So, she talked a little bit about Pokot. She said, I'm going to give it to you. You're going to talk a little bit about it. So let us know a little bit about Pokot, what's going on out there.
Okay. Pokot is one community in northwestern Kenya. It's up in the north. It's a majorly pastoralist community, nomadic pastoralist. That means they are community that still move from one place to another, still very strong in terms of their culture. They love cattle, so they keep a lot of livestock, and that has actually been their lifestyle for quite a long time. But the problem with that is there's been a lot of change in terms of the weather patterns, and their livelihood is not as sustainable. So you find there are seasons of drought and famine that kind of sweeps off almost the whole herds, and that has been a major challenge. So we happened to go there to do some outreaches about 4 years ago. And the situation there was very bad, that we found a lot of issues around hunger. There are no churches, there are no schools. And the whole story about getting to hear about how they've lost their livestock, their herds and all that. So we felt there was a need for us to engage. And so we mobilized support from individuals and churches, and Mercy through her foundation also were able to come in. And so currently we are having engagements in the community. Mercy has actually been supporting the component of school education, because the level of education there is very low. In fact, it's said that about only 8% of them are literate. So in the entire community.
And girls are married off early.
Very early. In that.
So let's say girls are married off early?
Very early.
So what's early? What age?
Anything between 9 and 12 years old.
Between 9 and 12?
Yes, yes.
They get married?
They get married. If you've ever heard of female genital mutilation,
Yes.
FGM, that's one of the communities that really practices that. And how that comes about is that immediately a girl gets the cut, she's actually a woman, she's ready to be married off. So what that means is that the father will want to take her for the cut as early as possible, because what that means to him, it translates he's getting a lot of cows in exchange for the young girl. So that's the kind of context.
So girls are property.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. So for us, we believe the intervention in that place, the church will play a very key role, and also education. So supporting the girls to go through school, because there's also a lot of cattle rustling. So the young girls, as they get married, the young boys become warriors, and they're out in the field always stealing cows and all that. Yeah, so that's the kind of context where we are.
So you take your work and you take gospel music and you take your foundation and you go out there. What's been your experiences going out there and being of help? What's the experience like for you?
I feel like there's a lot that needs to be done in terms of education, in terms of, it's like traveling there, is really something, because the roads, it's just crazy. And so my feeling is, if I could change one person, if I could improve the life of one person, that would be awesome. But there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And so, yeah, that's the basic feeling I get when I go there. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. And we need people, not just to sit in their comfort zones, but do something. And especially in America, I keep saying, you guys are blessed. Instead of just sitting home and doing nothing,
Right.
you could visit Africa and change the life of one person.
Wow. So give us a little bit about how people can help, because I know we got social media. We're able to actually reach out there. How can people be of assistance to the work that's going on, your foundation, and even the things that are going on in Pokot?
Okay, you could inbox us, especially for me, it's on inbox. We do a lot of Instagram where I come from. So if you inbox me on Instagram on Masika Mogoro, I'll be able to get in touch with you. Or Facebook, Masika Mogoro, or on my website, send a message on www.masimasika.org.
Right, and we have that information will come up at the bottom of the screen, so in case you can't get it all right now, we'll get it to you at the bottom of the screen, that you can be able to find out a little bit more about how to tap in for something that just is really kind of mind-blowing. And you know, like I said, I didn't know how bad the crisis was as far as women, young children were concerned, between the ages of 9 and 12. So automatically the question comes, you know, that I'll ask is, what's up with the government?
I think that it's quite of a challenge, especially when you're working with nomadic communities, because they are moving from one place to another. Right. So even the system of governance itself it's very tricky. And if you engage them, for them, they'll actually say it's logical for them to move from one place to another because they're looking for food, they're looking for water. So in terms of our intervention, we actually think, how can we bring food to them? How can we bring water? How can we help them to settle down so that they're not looking for what are ideally basic needs? And then also now work with the government in those places where they settle. So it's quite a challenge, and the community is highly marginalized because even getting access to the place in terms of roads, it's quite a bit of a challenge. The government would ideally not invest in a place where they feel there are no people, you know, no permanent residents. So you'd find that in itself is a bit of a challenge.
And so since you've been in the United States, I know you've been sharing a little bit about what's going on and trying to make people more aware. Have you been satisfied about, you know, in terms of the relationships that you've been able to make and the awareness that you've been able to bring?
I'd consider that as seeds that have been planted, that you'll only get satisfied when you start seeing it coming. One of the things that we're actually trying to see is, let's get people to come, like you said, come and see, come and experience, so that you actually have an experience, you see the kind of needs that are actually there. And we have a lot of resources. There are people with skill, there are people with financial resources that can be able to support, there are people with influence that can be able to influence, whether it's the government or some policies that can actually help, you know, to make life better for people in some of these communities. So come over, and when you come, let's see how we can actually support, because we are also keen on seeing interventions that are sustainable in the community, so that when you come in, you can be able to live structures, a school, you know, help establish some business models that can actually feed back to the community, so that they can be at a place where their needs are met and they're satisfied.
When people have the opportunity to meet you, you're the top Kenyan gospel artist, right? And we know that over in Kenya, gospel music ranks higher than actually secular music. So talk about the hope, because I know that people feel a sense of hope, or even that their voice is going to be heard just by you being able to bear witness to the fact that there is this struggle.
Say that again.
So by being that top gospel artist, right, and being able to talk to people out there, you give them hope.
Yes.
And so talk about the hope that they feel in meeting you.
It's always exciting to meet people who, I think when you're lifted up, you kind of become interesting to people. And so my hope basically is the Word of God. And I believe the Word of God is powerful enough to change lives. And so that's what my hope is all about. Yes.
And you share it once with everybody. Got to take a quick break, but listen, if you've never heard Mercy sing, she's going to be right here singing for us here on Perspectives, giving us some gospel music that we can be able to go on home to and listen to. And so, taking a quick break, coming back, Mercy's going to join us. Stay with us.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on a sidewalk?
Yes. Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
We are back here on Perspectives. I want to let you know it's a very special honor. We got the top Kenyan gospel artist right here, Miss Mercy Masika. And she's going to give us a little bit of her music, her flow. And so what are we going to hear?
A song, He Never Lied.
He Never Lies.
Yes.
All right, so let's listen to Miss Mercy Masika. He Never Lies.
Yep.
Take it away.
Thank you.
I sing out a glad song, for I know that my God, He never, never, He never, never lie. I am confident each day, and I know everything will be alright, 'cause my God, He never, never lie. I sing out a glad song, for I know that my God, He never, never, He never, lie. I am confident each day, and I know everything will be alright, 'cause my God, He never lie. Men can lie, but God don't lie. Men can change, but God don't change. We know it, You, oh Lord, amaze me. You, oh Lord, are holy. I sing out a glad song, for I know that my God, He never, He never lie. I am confident each day, and I know everything will be alright, 'cause my God, He never lie. Men can lie, but God don't lie. See, they can change it, but God don't change it, yeah. You, oh Lord, amaze me. You, oh Lord, are holy, yeah. You are in a class of your own. You are in a class of your own. You stand alone, you bet them all. You are on a class of your own. You are on a class of your own. You stand alone, you beat them all. You stand on a class of your own, God. You never lie. Yeah. Ooh, you stand alone, you beat them all. You stand alone, you beat them all. You're in a class of your own. You are God. You are God all by yourself. Ooh, you never lie. Ooh, you never lie. You're not a man that you should lie. We worship. Oh, you are Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end. Your promises are yea and amen. You never, oh yeah, yeah. Whatever you say, you will do. You never. Ooh, what a faithful God you are. What a faithful God you are. Never. You never. Yeah. La, la, la. It's not a man that he should lie. His word is true. Yeah. He never lie. He's never late. Always on time. Yeah. He never lie. Never lie. My Jesus, no. Ooh. Yeah. He never lie. He never. What a God. That's my God. Yeah. He never lie.
This is Miss Mercy Masika, and God never lies. And thank you. That's been a staple for you, huh?
Yes, sir.
So, where do we catch you from here on in?
YouTube,
Okay.
iTunes, Masi Masika, and also on YouTube, Masi Masika. You can follow me on Instagram, Masi Masika Mugoro, or on Facebook, Masi Masika Mugoro.
Okay, we'll definitely be continuing watching the great work that she's doing, not just in the gospel music industry, but for refugees. And I want to thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
And we got to come out to Pokot and see what's going on out there as well. Daren Jaime for us here on Perspectives. For all of us here on the Center Perspectives, I want to thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in Perspectives every week here on Bronx's Channel 67. You can check out a new episode. But this week, we've been blessed with Miss Mercy Masika. Take care. God bless. Share your perspective with somebody else. It just might make a difference in somebody else's life. Take care.